Brian Fritz here with Cody Rhodes as he gets set for his match at WrestleMania 29. So let me date myself a little bit because I've been around you and your dad a bunch being in Florida. I remember going to a Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling show, and a young Cody Rhodes came in the back wearing, I believe, denim pants and an Aquaman t-shirt and was hanging around.
I feel like that could be today, though, so you didn't date yourself that much because I think I still have an Aquaman t-shirt in the mix. But yeah, gosh, Turnbuckle. Do you know where it was?
It was either in Orlando or Daytona Beach.
Wow. Now I must have been 15, 16? How old?
I think you're closer to 18.
18 years old? Huh, but it was Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling.
It was Turnbuckle.
Oh, wow. Well, what were you doing at the show?
I was covering it because working on radio in Orlando. I remember seeing your dad because I had him on to promote it. Your dad gave me the biggest hug. I thought he was going to die.
Oh, well, that's
sweet man.
He's a sweet man. He's a lover. He's a lover.
Yes.
So very cool, man. That's I thought you were gonna say like I saw your dad in the Night Convention Center or whatever in 1970 something. That would have been dating yourself. This is not at all.
I'm older than you. I'm not that old.
No. This is that's good. You dated yourself with me. I like that.
So, are more people asking you about WrestleMania or your mustache?
You know, it's a good mix, and honestly, I feel better, I guess, answering questions about the mustache than I do about WrestleMania sometimes because, gosh, it's an absolutely loaded WrestleMania. I really was like almost unprepared in terms of like which match are you looking forward to most, who do you think is going to stand out and this and that. So it's safety. When I don't know what I'm talking about, it's just safety. I just go to the mustache, I guess.
Absolutely. That's better than Tom Selleck's, you know.
Oh, no. I was humbled because this was something. I got hurt. I tore my trap. I tore my delt, and I had the first 3 weeks I've had off in 7 years, and I ended up growing this facial hair just as men do when you're not active for X amount of time.
You were bored.
Yeah, I was, and I was like, well, I'll clean it up a little bit and I'll go to, TV as I'm coming back to work, and maybe somebody will notice, maybe it'll be funny, and Damian's got this big beard, so maybe it'll fit, and ultimately somebody really did like it, and then the crowd was chanting Cody's mustache that night, and that makes it a permanent fixture apparently, but I looked at mustaches after that. I looked to see, okay, what do guys do when these things get bigger, unruly, and I looked at Tom Selleck, and that thing is just like, Tom Selleck's face is happy to be there with that mustache. That is just glorious. So,
how weird do you think you're going to look when the day comes that you don't have the mustache anymore?
I've gotten very used to it. My family, a lot of folks around me have gotten very used to it. But it could be any day now that I shave this thing. So hopefully I won't go so long that I look at myself and you've got like that, you don't trust yourself because you've got this naked lip type scenario.
Well, being wrestling, there has to be a match where your mustache is on the line. You can't just do it on your own.
That's what I've been told, that if you're going to shave it, you might as well put it on the line first to see if you can shave it on your own or if somebody else is going to be shaving it for you. So I won't shave it without the world knowing.
Do you actually have a lot of tools now to properly groom the mustache?
I have 2 tools, which I would say is a lot of tools considering my toiletry bag is pretty limited to begin with, but now I've got the little Gillette trimmer and this tiny little mustache comb that Damian gave me as a joke for a spot we did on TV, and it actually is legitimately a mustache comb, so why? It's not even funny anymore. I'm using it, and it works better than a toothbrush. So,
does your mustache has its own Twitter account?
It not a real official.
Right.
There is a Twitter account which I saw, and I normally would, if you saw like a fake account of yourself, you would normally want to do something about that, right, or make people aware. But in this case, I almost followed it and almost just gave them the thanks, guys, because this is so stupid. But you're making it better. So yeah, no, there is a Twitter account for the mustache. Doesn't tweet a lot, I don't think, though.
Doesn't have much to say.
No, it stands on its own, I suppose.
You mentioned Damian. How much are you enjoy working with him? You guys you were a tag team, then you briefly weren't, and now you're a tag team again.
You know what? I would say we aren't a tag team. We are not a tag team, only because we're just we've known each other for a long time. We were in developmental together. We're really just two individual performers who have lumped what we're doing together. It's been really good for me because I never wanted to do another tag team again. I love tag team wrestling, but I just didn't want to be in a tag team again. And in the case with him, it's just such an opposite end of what I am into and what I'm a fan of in sports entertainment. His world is so different, and it's good for me, big time. I mean, he's been very influential, and he's been very helpful in the make people laugh side of our business. Because I'm not funny. I don't think I have a funny bone in my body, but that guy is a very, very comedy, and I enjoy it, and he's helped me a lot.
Would you like to be an official team, or do you just kind of like the partnership you have now, and then once that's over, kind of go your separate ways as soon as possible?
We had the most amicable, diplomatic, just great breakup. Probably one of the few breakups in sports entertainment history where we did not, lock horns.
That's not how a tag team is supposed to break up.
No, it's not. But that moment, that's kind of set me up for. I hope Damian is part of my career for, till the end of my career. As far as, Shawn Michaels had Triple H, and they had this kinship, and then they would come back together here and there. I'd hope Damian Sandow was like that for me.
Have you talked about when that day comes where you guys might actually square off against one another?
I think he talks about it a lot. I always tell him that I don't want to work with you another day more than I have to work with you. I'm usually just messing with him, but he's mentioned before that he said if we ever did square off, he would put the beard on the line, which means that I would have to put the mustache on the line. And I'm not totally opposed to that. Not totally opposed to it.
What's the biggest word he's ever used that you were like, where did that come from? Or I don't even know what that is.
There's a lot of them.
Yes.
There's a lot of them. Well, there was a word that didn't make the final cut, and I'm trying to think of what it was. It's not the biggest word I've ever heard, but one of the words I really am fond of that he uses a lot is vernacular. Mm-hmm. He always, especially when we're interviewed and stuff like that, he's always real big on, people misconstrue my vernacular, and just how he ties things together. He'll tie 3 or 4 words like that together to where it doesn't sound like you're talking to anybody. It's like pirate old English talk. It's very, very cool.
I like loquacious when he breaks that up.
Yeah, loquacious is good. There's another. Gosh, I'm trying to think what it. I don't know how you pronounce it, but erudite or.
Oh, erudite.
Erudite. Erudite was like he didn't want to say erudite. Mm-hmm. But he did want to say erudite, and there was this whole debate over erudite. And erudite that's probably my favorite word he's used. Yeah, so I didn't know what erudite. I have a pretty good vernacular. I have a pretty good extensive language myself. But that was the one that Damian Sandow'd me on. That I literally looked at him and was like, I don't know.
It was funny that, go back a few months, your brother in the company, he was wrestling there, and it looked like some people even thought, wow, what a nice matchup. Could this actually build us some towards WrestleMania? Is that something you even thought at the time maybe could happen?
I think it was something that it was spoken of a lot last year, heading into WrestleMania in Miami. And this year, it was actually a surprise. A lot of things, what we do is entertainment. And there are very few things that are secret anymore. And it was a secret to me about Dustin's involvement in the Royal Rumble. And it was so well done. And I was very touched at how well that crowd received him. I always think the crowd is going to receive him, well. He had a great career, and there's that element of nostalgia. But man, they really showed me something. And I did think that, well, maybe not WrestleMania, but I thought potentially Goldust and myself might cross paths because he could still go and really go. So I wouldn't totally write it off.
Yeah. How worried were you when you had the injury? Like you said, because there's times where you get so frustrated because the whole thing is work through injuries. Certain times you can't. And sometimes you get on a roll and you're feeling like something's going good here. And if you get sidelined for any period of time, you're worried about what's going to happen when you return.
For me, I've never been hurt. Well, I guess I've been hurt, but I've never been injured. Yeah. And I just wanted to show everybody that I know I'm a fast healer. I've always been a fast healer. I wanted to show everybody that I really wanted to be back, and it wasn't something I did not want to work injured. You can't compete injured, but I did want to heal at a just ridiculous pace, and I was able to hit that goal. It was 25 days, and I had a grade 2 tear in my trap and a grade 1 in my delt and a wicked concussion, and just I was extremely satisfied at the day I came back, and before the red light even went on, I hit the ropes, and I ended up climbing to the top, and I did a few things in there, and everyone mockingly clapped, but it made me feel good because I was able to get it done in 25 days when some folks are, I don't like to sit at home and steal money. I like to earn what I get, and you got to do it in the ring,
Yeah. And compared so far what you've seen from this event this year to last year. Last year you were in the match. You lost the Intercontinental title against Big Show. Your streak, I think, of 236 days came to an end.
Crushed.
How come nobody talks about that streak? They talk about this one that CM Punk had for a little while.
Well, I think Punk's streak, in terms of the title he held and the time he held it, was absolutely phenomenal. I love when people mention the Intercontinental title. Because I feel like part of that Intercontinental title, I stayed with the Intercontinental title a little bit. Certainly Wade Barrett's a great champion, he's carrying it around, but I feel like a little bit of me is still in that title. I would have loved to retire that title. That was ultimately the plan I had. It's been in the company for so long, and things are changing, times are changing. We brought back the original plating, but I would have loved to retire it, but Big Show, as he will do, ruined my WrestleMania and ruined my reign.
That's unfortunate. I feel bad for you.
You know what? I felt bad until I got the paycheck. So I would have loved. I remember last year I was very frustrated. I would have loved to, like this year, Fandango and Chris Jericho, for example. Fandango is a great opportunity to succeed in there with a superstar that's been proven that the audience knows is a guarantee. Big Show is a guarantee, and I hope that I succeeded when I was in that spotlight with him, and I hope Fandango can succeed in the spotlight he's in.
Appreciate it. Best of luck at WrestleMania 29. Thanks again for joining me.
Thank you, sir. Very much.
Cody Rhodes getting ready for WrestleMania 29.
I might steal this Bret Hart DVD.